My boss kept stealing my work for 3 years, so I planted something in my final report that would detonate at exactly the right moment. It started my first week at Meridian Analytics. I'd stayed until midnight perfecting a client presentation on market trends, 15 slides of pure genius, charts that told a story, data that sang. I was so proud walking into the conference room the next morning. Then I watched Beverly present my work to the board. Every slide, every insight, every carefully crafted recommendation. She stood there in her $2,000 suit, clicking through my presentation like she'd birthed each graph herself. When the CEO praised her innovative approach, she actually blushed and said, "Thank you, I worked all weekend on this." I sat frozen in the back row, watching my career-defining work get attributed to someone else. After the meeting, I cornered her in the hallway. "Beverly, that was my presentation." She smiled that cold smile she'd perfected in law school. "Actually, Delilah, you work for me. Everything you create belongs to this department. Maybe you misunderstood your role here." I didn't misunderstand anything. I understood perfectly. For the next 3 years, it became our twisted routine. I'd pour my soul into research, staying late analyzing market data, interviewing industry experts, crafting reports that could change entire business strategies. Beverly would swoop in, slap her name on everything, and present it as her own genius. She got promoted twice on my work, salary increases that should have been mine, recognition in industry magazines for insights I'd discovered, speaking engagements where she quoted my research word for word. Meanwhile, I was still sitting in the same cubicle, making the same salary, watching her climb the corporate ladder wearing boots made from my stolen ideas. The breaking point came last month when she presented my 18-month analysis on cryptocurrency trends to Fortune 500 executives. That report represented hundreds of hours of work, dozens of interviews, and breakthrough insights that would reshape investment strategies for the next decade. She got a standing ovation, a feature article in Forbes, and a job offer from Goldman Sachs worth $400,000 a year, all for work that was entirely mine. That night, I sat in my studio apartment eating microwaved pasta, watching Beverly give interviews about her groundbreaking research. She looked radiant under the studio lights, discussing methodologies she'd never used and insights she'd never had. Something inside me finally snapped. I'd been documenting everything for 3 years. Every stolen report, every plagiarized presentation, every moment she'd claimed credit for my work. But documentation wasn't enough. I needed something more elegant, more devastating. So I started crafting my masterpiece. Beverly's final presentation to the executive board was scheduled for today, the one that would secure her Goldman Sachs position and launch her into the stratosphere of corporate success. The presentation I'd been working on for 6 months, a comprehensive analysis that would revolutionize how the company approached international markets. Of course, she had no idea what was actually in those files, because this time I hadn't just documented her theft, I'd weaponized it. Hidden in slide 47 of what appeared to be a standard market analysis was something special, something that would activate at exactly 10:47 a.m., right in the middle of her presentation to the board of directors, the CEO, and the Goldman Sachs representatives who'd flown in specifically to hear Beverly's groundbreaking work. I glanced at my watch, 10:46 a.m., any second now. I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video, watch the rest down below.